Who was the best volleyball player at Ludwig's Streamer Games? This year, Ludwig hosted a day of sports where 8 teams of 4 creators would face off against each other in 14 events to determine who was the best. One of the only events to use all 4 members of each team, and what I think was the most exciting to watch, was volleyball, because it combined athleticism and skill with teamwork, while most other events did not have such overlap. While it was easy to see from the very start that 100 Thieves was the team to beat, the best overall player was much more up in the air, with each team seemingly having at least one person who was competent at the sport. So to determine the best volleyball player at Ludwig's Streamer Games, there's only one way to get an unbiased opinion, and that's to look at the data. But there obviously isn't readily available data from an event like this, so I recorded every single touch of the volleyball that occurred during each game and labeled them with one of 2 actions. Either serve or hit, and then had an additional category if they were successful or not. There were not many actual blocks in the event, so this will be just grouped in with the hits. Overall, this will track how successful a player was at getting hits that either go to the other side or give their teammates a chance to hit the ball. I also noted if a certain hit had a direct outcome of a point being scored, meaning that within the next touch of the ball was the point over or not. This will help show who won the most points and who lost their team the most points. And to determine the best overall volleyball player, I will be considering these 2 metrics. The main drawbacks of this method is that effort is not necessarily rewarded. If a player is going for a ball and bails out last second because they don't think they can get a good hit, they are not punished. And conversely, if somebody dives for a ball and gets a weak touch that loses them the point, they are punished. There is also the problem of when a teammate gives a bad set that is still touchable but puts the next hitter at a disadvantage, the last person to touch the ball is still technically the one who lost the point. There could be a way to counteract this by changing some of the scoring system, but by doing so it brings in a lot more possibility for subjectiveness and biases. So for now, let's jump into the data. First off, there's a big discrepancy in data points for some teams because half only played 1 game, while the winners of the first round all played 3 games. So because of this, unfortunately, the best volleyball player will not be coming from Team Red Bull, YouTube, Offline TV, or FaZe Clan. But that's to be expected since the best player should at least be able to carry a team out of the first round. Now, it might be obvious to assume that the MVP will come from the team that won the event, 100 Thieves, but they were extremely balanced, so they could have been taking opportunities to shine away from one another. But before I announce the MVP of the volleyball competition, I will run through some other superlatives of players who deserve recognition for how well they played in certain aspects of the game. Starting with the longest rally. This occurred between rivals Team YouTube and Team Twitch in the first round, where they combined for 12 hits between the 2 teams, finally concluding with a precise shot by Squeaks to win the point for Team Twitch.
Hit over by Eric. E-Rob sets it up for... Oh! That's in. That is in. That is in. Ref called it.
Next up is the Golden Arm Award, which goes to the best server. This was tough to decide because there were 3 players who served 6 times and were successful every single time, those being Will Neff, Austin Show, and Jesser. But going one step further and looking at how many service aces they had, the award will go to 2 players, Will Neff and Jesser, who both had 4 aces off their serves. The next award is for best spike. There were a few contenders for this, but they all came from Team 100 Thieves, as they worked the ball around the most effectively to set up opportunities for spikes. But the easy choice for this award was from Vinny Hacker, where he somehow was able to contort his body to not touch the net while also getting a super powerful spike off, that the opposition had no chance at returning. Next is the most creative shot. This award goes to Austin Show with his pelvic punch. There is not much else needed to be said about the creativity and skill needed to pull off a hit like this and have the rally keep going. So let's move on to the Max Effort Award. This goes to Will Neff, who had almost double the amount of attempted hits as the rest of his team combined, with 17 versus 9, and also attempted 2 diving plays. Even though his overall stats may have taken a hit because of the effort he was willing to put out in the court, it was still easy to see that he was a good player. Next is the Best Hitter Award. This goes to the player who's the most successful at hitting the ball, and that was Nicewig. Out of his 18 attempted hits, he only failed once, and that was on a diving play, as well as being successful on all his attempted serves. Now we made it to the main event, the award everybody has been waiting for, the MVP of volleyball at Ludwig's Streamer Games. And this goes to Squeaks, who consistently put pressure on opposition by staying at the net and getting the ball over quickly and consistently. He had the second highest hit accuracy overall, right behind Nicewig, and had the highest plus-minus in the competition. There were only 6 players with positive plus-minus, meaning that they were winning more points than they were losing, and those players were Squeaks, Nicewig, Mizkif, Vinny Hacker, Adapt, and Seadog VA. So overall, the points were more about trying to limit errors than about trying to win points, especially on serves, because having failed serves was just giving away free points without having any opportunity to right the ship. But all in all, this was a very exciting event to watch and hope similar things will be put together in the future. And if you liked it, you can vote it for Best Streamed Event at the Streamer Awards, link in the description till November 26th. Also, if there is any interest in putting together analyses of similar events, let me know in the comments below.